Trabajemos para lograr un mejor medio ambiente para las personas, para el planeta. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales interconectadas que reflejan las 4 mejoras de la FAO, 4 decisiones que contribuyen a la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios y que guiarán a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. Los alimentos provienen del suelo y del agua. Sin embargo, la región es particular climático y a las malas prácticas a nivel productivo que han generado degradación ambiental. Entre 2008 y 2018, las pérdidas en la producción agrícola relacionadas con desastres climáticos en América Latina y el Caribe se estimaron en $29.000 millones. En 2022, los desastres relacionados con el clima afectaron a 17 países. Si no actuamos hoy en la adaptación y mitigación al cambio climático, pobreza extrema, en un escenario donde la escasez de agua se agravará. Por eso en la región, la FAO trabaja por un mejor medio ambiente, priorizando la gestión sostenible de los recursos de la tierra, los suelos, el agua y la adaptación al cambio climático. En esa labor, también es clave el resguardo de la biodiversidad para lograr un equilibrio ecológico en los ecosistemas, garantizar la diversidad de alimentos y resguardar la cultura de las poblaciones con entornos ambientalmente sanos. A nivel urbano, las ciudades verdes y los centros de distribución de alimentos con reducción de huella ambiental, incluyendo el uso eficiente de energía y agua, también son clave. A través de esta prioridad regional, se busca proteger, restaurar y promover el uso sostenible de los ecosistemas terrestres, acuáticos y marinos y luchar contra el cambio climático. Trabajemos juntos hacia sistemas alimentarios resilientes para un futuro más sostenible.
Para esta colección, mi punto de inspiración fue la mujer algodonera, la que recolecta y trabaja el algodón a manos y escalarlo al nivel ya de moda, al nivel de diseño, respetando mucho su trazabilidad, respetando su oficio, respetando su origen y toda la cosmovisión que ellas tienen alrededor del algodón. El recolector de las campesinas tiene una manera particular de vestir que se repite en los diferentes países. Básicamente es una silueta muy ajustada en la parte de arriba con esos cardigans que utilizan y muy voluminosa en la parte de abajo con esas faldas rotondas. Ese fue como el punto de partida de combinar entre lo ajustado en el cuerpo y lo voluminoso. Ahí después entran otros valores más asociados al algodón sostenible y al algodón de estos pequeños agricultores, que era rescatar y poner en evidencia el trabajo a mano que ellas realizan, sobre todo mostrar noble, pero una materia tan omnipresente. Si se trabaja de la mano de un diseñador y unos artesanos, puede adquirir un valor superior al crear piezas únicas con valores asociados y traídos desde estas artesanas, filtradas a través de un diseñador.
Ore go bailar ole hia kwe ore la. Oye gweru ore ve ha kwanga oi pona hoi kwe mi ka nativo pero i na ha kwa mombare te buti mombare te yo hoi kwe. O pona. Sain baite kwe. Tu sa baite ma hoi kwe. Ai buti no avi nativo ve ai. A ver, cada tuyo, ya que cada tuyo, ya cada tuyo pongan allí, cuando por lo menos hay cosas así. Pues entre este, a ver de pollo, tanto hay mayores eventos.
Esa curibe modelos Oña tu vive nativo lleva, oña roye ya pope picado, niño tu rara para que inve huevo lleva cagua. Les llama inva lleva lleva te ni na siempre orera que tenga le urare, lo cuida. Porque a veces llegó a lleva y de provecho y la dentro de la comunidad.
Que iniciamos.
Lleva la
Pero en tu sitio.
y no exigen que tú jamás hacer bien de ir a ver a los peores hombres pensar mi hija pero ya llegué a llevar antes ya acá para todo el tema gracias a la comunidad lleva mi hija o me puedo tener que jugar ayer ya mi milagro pero pi ponen baite oye milagro hola hoy yo me ya hacer bien la vida comunidad que ya te miren no es
porque algunos con la reforestación, algunos opaman las hojas, se gusta y la pepe los ojos apaman la oreja y la oreja o intia ya pero o convenido, se la como la trabajo mía se gusta porque un llegu ore la posibilidad la oña lo apuntar la ore me una vez la y por jamás la dura mía la super coranguana.
Estamos de gente que era la super ore roñan tende hay parcelar roñan tende a porque es la naturaleza o lo recuperar o la recoger y con que algo opa y que tú más o vivir que tenga que algo ve y que tú ves llega que tú llegas la cueva me san con ya te no hay por ahí ni grabando güey que por escuela que algo es importante los ensayos de proyectar la cago que portamos pues.
Una vida mejor para las personas, sin dejar a nadie atrás. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO, celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales integradas. Son las 4 mejoras de la FAO, 4 dimensiones que contribuyen a la transformación de temas sanitarios que guiará a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. Es la región más desigual. Niveles persistentes de pobreza rural que afectan desproporcionadamente a las mujeres y a los pueblos indígenas. La exposición a múltiples riesgos que aumentan rápidamente está haciendo que los sistemas agroalimentarios sean vulnerables a diferentes crisis y choques, afectando los medios de vida rurales, especialmente para la agricultura familiar. En América Latina y el Caribe, el 25% de la población se identifica como indígena o afrodescendiente, mientras que las mujeres constituyen el 36% de los trabajadores del sistema alimentario. Por eso en la región, la FAO trabaja por formación rural inclusiva a través de acciones dirigidas a acelerar la inversión y la cooperación internacional. Erradicar la pobreza rural y reducir las desigualdades es fundamental para impulsar un desarrollo económico que ofrezca oportunidades para todos. Trabajemos juntos para reducir las desigualdades para un futuro más sostenible y resiliente.
rol de la FAO ha jugado un papel importante dentro de acá, de nuestra granja, de nuestra crianza de animales menores, porque gracias a eso nos hemos implementado, hemos hecho muchas cosas, hemos implementado el pequeño centro de beneficio que tenemos, nos han hablado un montón de lo que es inocuidad, del cuidado que debemos tener, el manejo al momento de hacer el faenamiento y todas esas cosas. Y producto de eso es que la granja de acá, en Granja de Cuy Rosita de Orcotuna, hoy en día abastece animalitos a la municipalidad de Orcotuna. Estamos abasteciendo los cuyes beneficiados para los niños del nivel inicial y para los niños con problemas de anemia.
Muchas cosas se aprenden en el biohuerto, ¿no? No solamente para que los niños puedan de repente comer saludablemente, sino que también esto nos va a ayudar a que los niños puedan entrar con sus maestros a poder realizar sus clases, por ejemplo, en matemática, pueden usarlo en las medidas, el proceso de repente de crecimiento de las plantas, ¿no? Su control de crecimiento. En ciencia y tecnología pueden hacer también muchos trabajos ahí. Ese modelo de la FAO me parece muy importante, que toda escuela debiera tenerlo porque nos permiten, ¿no?, tener verduras frescas, que nuestros niños puedan alimentarse y de paso también nos ayuda a que los maestros puedan usar los biohuertos y puedan realizar sus clases.
Hey, amigos y amigas, saludos amazónicos. Soy Pipe Cuida. ¿Sabían que los bosques en Colombia tienen unos guardianes que los protegen y vigilan? Hoy conoceremos cómo las comunidades del bioma amazónico monitorean los bosques junto al IDEAN. ¡Vamos! Todo comienza en el IDEAN, en donde se genera la información oficial sobre nuestros bosques, a través del sistema de monitoreo de bosques y carbono, para detectar dónde se expande la deforestación y sus causas. Así se emiten alertas cada trimestre para que todos estemos informados. Pero en esta historia participan también las comunidades en territorio. Dejemos que sea un integrante del sistema de monitoreo de bosques y carbono quien nos cuente cómo lo hacen.
Las comunidades locales del bioma amazónico vigilan sus territorios a través del monitoreo comunitario participativo. Ellos están al tanto de cada árbol, cada especie y hasta de los servicios que estos bosques les brindan, como el agua o la captura de carbón. Esto les permite entender mejor sus territorios y tomar las decisiones que protegen a la naturaleza y a su gente. Los datos que recogen en el terreno se combinan con la información del IDEAM para lograr un monitoreo completo y preciso. Desde el año 2015 el IDEAM, junto con la FAO y el Ministerio de Ambiente, están fortaleciendo esta alianza con las comunidades locales. Hemos creado la Escuela de Conocimientos y Saberes del Sistema de Monitoreo, donde los monitores locales aprenden a usar mapas, equipos y tecnología para monitorear el entorno.
¡Qué interesante! Ahora, María Andrea Rueda nos cuenta cómo el proyecto GCF Visión Amazonía, implementado por FAO Colombia, en conjunto con el Minambiente y el IDEAN, trabaja con las comunidades.
El proyecto GCF Visión Amazonía, financiado por el Fondo Verde del Clima, busca reducir la deforestación en el bioma amazónico colombiano y lo hace implementando 3 acciones principales. La primera consiste en fortalecer el monitoreo de los bosques, capacitando a las comunidades en el monitoreo comunitario participativo. La segunda consiste en transformar las áreas afectadas en núcleos de desarrollo forestal y de la biodiversidad con acciones de manejo forestal sostenible. Y la tercera, empoderar a las comunidades indígenas para el manejo sostenible y la conservación de los bosques a través de la gobernanza territorial.
Bueno, y el aplauso hoy es para los guardianes silenciosos, las comunidades que con su amor y conocimiento protegen nuestros bosques. Nos vemos muy pronto.
Necesitamos una mejor nutrición para las personas, para el planeta. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO, celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales interconectadas que reflejan las 4 mejoras de la FAO. 4 dimensiones que contribuyen a la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios y que guiarán a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. La región enfrenta desafíos significativos para erradicar el hambre y la malnutrición. Aunque el número de personas que sufren hambre disminuyó ligeramente en 2023, 41 millones de personas en la región aún la sufren. América Latina y el Caribe registran el costo más alto de una dieta saludable en comparación con los promedios mundiales. El estimado de $4,56 por persona por día significa que 1 de cada 4 personas no puede permitirse una dieta saludable. Por eso en la región, la FAO trabaja por una mejor nutrición, priorizando poner fin al hambre y lograr la seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición sin dejar a nadie atrás. La transición hacia dietas saludables y una mejor seguridad alimentaria para los más vulnerables es una prioridad en la región. Trabajemos juntos por la seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición para un futuro más brillante.
En el marco del Mecanismo para Bosques y Fincas, se llevó a cabo en Tena el intercambio regional de experiencias en los sistemas agroforestales para potenciar la bioeconomía inclusiva y sostenible. En el evento, fue posible conocer la experiencia de la producción sostenible y desarrollo de bioemprendimiento, la importancia de las chacras y el impacto en las comunidades después de recibir el reconocimiento como sistemas importantes del patrimonio agrícola mundial, CIPAM de la FAO.
Mi nombre es Nelly Monar, pertenezco a la Asociación de Productores de Cacao Fino de Aroma de Carlos Julia Rosemenatola. Nuestra organización se dedica bastante al tema de dar un valor agregado a la almendra de cacao. Los productores realizan en sus chacras el mantenimiento, que sean las plantas amigables con el medio ambiente, que exista biodiversidad dentro de las chacras. Para nosotros el CIPAM ha sido bastante interesante porque nos ha permitido abrir oportunidades, plazas, nuevos nichos de mercado bastante únicos en los cuales podemos o se concientiza bastante el tema de la protección del medio ambiente, el cuidado de la naturaleza, animales, flora, fauna. Eso nos ha permitido tener a nosotros como organización un nicho de mercado súper especial que a más del cuidado de la naturaleza nos ha permitido que por cada gramo de cacao se pueda evidenciar el qué hay detrás de cada barrita de chocolate. Existe una textura que al nosotros consumir un pequeño gramo de cacao podemos sentirlo, todas esas tradiciones que existen.
Necesitamos una mejor producción para las personas, para el planeta. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO, celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales interconectadas que reflejan las 4 mejoras de la FAO, 4 dimensiones que contribuyen a la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios y que guiarán a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. Nuestra región aporta el 14% de la producción mundial de alimentos. Sin embargo, el 33% de las tierras cultivables están moderada y altamente degradadas, y la pérdida de más del 40% de la producción se relaciona con plagas y enfermedades. La FAO trabaja por una mejor producción en la región, priorizando una producción eficiente, inclusiva y sostenible, donde se necesita abordar integralmente las dimensiones ambiental, económica y social de la producción agropecuaria, forestal, de la pesca y de la acuicultura. Trabajemos juntos hacia una producción sostenible, sin dejar a nadie atrás.
Ñuble, Chile, se dio inicio a la primera jornada del evento Cultivando una vida mejor, logros del proyecto Cooperación Sur-Sur, Transformación Digital e Innovación en la Agricultura. En el lugar se reunieron representantes de gobierno, del Ministerio de Agricultura y Asuntos Rurales de la República Popular China, de la Comunidad de Estados Latinoamericanos y Caribeños, funcionarios de FAO y miembros de las comunidades involucradas en el proyecto para compartir sus experiencias con el uso de la conectividad y las herramientas tecnológicas. Durante esta jornada, los participantes conocieron las instalaciones entre 4 digitales habilitados en Chile y reflexionaron sobre los aprendizajes adquiridos en la implementación de las iniciativas de Cooperación Sur que el proyecto, liderado por FAO, la República Popular China y CELAC, desarrolló en 2 de la región para mejorar los medios de vida rurales. La FAO ha promovido la cooperación entre los países del sur global desde 1979 para lograr la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios. La cooperación sur-sur y triangular se ha ido integrando progresivamente entre las prioridades de la organización. El proyecto ha demostrado que la transformación digital en las zonas rurales no solo permite optimizar los procesos productivos de la pequeña agricultura, sino que también representa una oportunidad para fortalecer el trabajo colaborativo, incentivar la inclusión de jóvenes y mujeres y mejorar la calidad de vida de las personas. Este esfuerzo contribuye a la construcción de un futuro más próspero, con sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles, donde nadie quede atrás.
La conectividad está transformando la vida de la comarca indígena Nove Buglé en Panamá. La FAO, el Ministerio de Desarrollo Agropecuario y el Instituto de Innovación Agropecuaria de Panamá han implementado un ecosistema digital territorial para asegurar el acceso a Internet y capacitar a 4 asociaciones ubicadas en Alto Cedro, Boca del Monte, Cerro Gavilán y Cerro Tula. Esta iniciativa es parte del proyecto Cooperación Sur-Sur, Transformación Digital e Innovación en la Agricultura, liderado por la FAO y la República para medios de vida y apoyar la transformación digital en 12 países que participan de la Comunidad de Estados Latinoamericanos y Caribeños. En Panamá, el equipamiento tecnológico entregado y los conocimientos adquiridos permitirán realizar trámites en línea, descubrir nuevas formas de comercialización y acceder a mercados digitales.
Es importante tener antena para la comunicación con otros países, para que en cualquier ayuda podamos contactar con ellos y también enviar los productos que tenemos para que nosotros seamos clientes y a ellos y también a ellos puedan ser clientes de nosotros. A eso necesitamos esta red social.
Lo más importante es que poder comunicarme con diferentes organizaciones, saber más sobre eso. Y el internet, gracias a eso puedo conectarme, tener acceso a señales, navegar por internet, buscar más información y así poder apoyar a la organización.
Apoyar la transformación digital inclusiva en Panamá y en los demás países de América Latina y el Caribe es un esfuerzo para que las y los habitantes de los sectores rurales tengan una mejor calidad de vida y más oportunidades de desarrollo. Además, representa un paso fundamental para avanzar hacia mejores sistemas agroalimentarios sin dejar a nadie atrás.
Que permiten llevar alimentos nutritivos como frutas y hortalizas hasta nuestra mesa están siendo afectados por una serie de factores como la variabilidad del clima y los fenómenos climáticos extremos que pueden aumentar el costo de los alimentos nutritivos y hacer más inasequibles las dietas saludables, contribuyendo a la inseguridad alimentaria y la malnutrición. Estos eventos son cada vez más frecuentes y de mayor intensidad y alteran el régimen habitual de precipitaciones y temperaturas. El Panorama Regional de la Seguridad Alimentaria y la Nutrición 2024, publicado por 5 agencias de Naciones Unidas, plantea este como uno de los principales desafíos para lograr la erradicación del hambre y la malnutrición en América Latina y el Caribe. De acuerdo con el informe, 20 países de la región están altamente expuestos a sufrir eventos extremos y 14 están en una situación de vulnerabilidad para enfrentarlos. Estos fenómenos extremos impactan la disponibilidad y el acceso a los alimentos, modifican su utilización y afectan la estabilidad de la seguridad alimentaria. Esto representa una amenaza a los logros obtenidos en los últimos 2 años. En 2023, la inseguridad alimentaria moderado y grave se redujo en 6,1 puntos porcentuales en América Latina y el Caribe, en comparación a 2021, ubicándose por debajo del promedio mundial. Sin embargo, los datos de los 13 países afectados por eventos climáticos extremos mostraron un aumento promedio del hambre de 1,5 puntos porcentuales entre 2013 y 2022. Esto obliga a mirar los efectos de estos fenómenos desde la perspectiva de la seguridad alimentaria, reconociendo que el progreso es frágil y la variabilidad del clima con sus fenómenos extremos llegaron para quedarse. Los nuevos desafíos son multidimensionales, por lo que exigen políticas e intervenciones integrales para la resiliencia de las comunidades y sistemas, para anticipar, prevenir, absorber, adaptar y transformar de manera positiva frente a riesgos que amenazan la seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición. Naciones Unidas realiza un llamado a los países a acelerar las acciones para fortalecer la resiliencia dentro de los sistemas agroalimentarios y salvaguardar el progreso de la región hacia la eliminación del hambre y la malnutrición en todas sus formas, garantizando al mismo tiempo la sostenibilidad con una mirada de futuro sin dejar a nadie atrás.
Trabajemos para lograr un mejor medio ambiente para las personas, para el planeta. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales interconectadas que reflejan las 4 mejoras de la FAO. 4 dimensiones que contribuyen a la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios y que guiarán a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. Los alimentos provienen del suelo y del agua. Sin embargo, la región es particularmente vulnerable al cambio climático y a las malas prácticas a nivel productivo que han generado degradación ambiental. Entre 2008 y 2018, las pérdidas en la producción agrícola relacionadas con desastres climáticos en América Latina y el Caribe se estimaron en $29.000 millones. En 2022, los desastres relacionados con el clima afectaron a 17 países. Si no actuamos hoy en la adaptación y mitigación al cambio climático, para el 2030, más de 3 millones de personas podrían alcanzar la pobreza extrema, en un escenario donde la escasez de agua se agravará. Por eso en la región, la FAO trabaja por un mejor medio ambiente, priorizando la gestión sostenible de los recursos de la tierra, los suelos, el agua y la adaptación al cambio climático. En esa labor, también es clave el resguardo de la biodiversidad para lograr un equilibrio ecológico en los ecosistemas, garantizar la diversidad de alimentos y resguardar la cultura de las poblaciones con entornos ambientalmente sanos. A nivel urbano, las ciudades verdes y los centros de distribución de alimentos con reducción de huella ambiental, incluyendo el uso eficiente de energía y agua, también son clave. A través de esta prioridad regional, se busca proteger, restaurar y promover el uso sostenible de los ecosistemas terrestres, acuáticos y marinos y luchar contra el cambio climático. Trabajemos juntos hacia sistemas alimentarios resilientes para un futuro más sostenible.
Para esta colección, mi punto de inspiración fue la mujer algodonera, la que recolecta y trabaja el algodón a través de sus manos y escalarlo al nivel ya de moda, al nivel de diseño, respetando mucho su trazabilidad, respetando su oficio, respetando su origen y toda la cosmovisión que ellas tienen alrededor del algodón. Las recolectoras, las campesinas, tienen una manera particular de vestir que se repite en los diferentes países. Básicamente es una silueta muy ajustada en la parte de arriba con esos cardigans que utilizan y muy voluminosa en la parte de abajo con esas faldas rotondas. Ese fue como el punto de partida de combinar entre lo ajustado en el cuerpo y lo voluminoso. Ahí después entran otros valores más asociados al algodón sostenible y al algodón de estos pequeños agricultores, que era rescatar y poner en evidencia el trabajo a mano que ellas realizan, sobre todo mostrar que una materia noble, pero una materia como tan omnipresente, si se trabaja de la mano de un diseñador y unos artesanos, puede adquirir un valor superior al crear piezas únicas con valores asociados y traídos desde estas artesanas, filtradas a través de un diseñador.
Ore go bailar ole hia kwe ore la. Oye güero ore ve ha kwanga oi pona hoi kwe mi ka nativo pero ina ha kwa mombare te buti mombare te yo hoi kwe. Oho pona. Sain baite kwe. Tu sa baite ma hoi kwe. Ai buti no avi nativo be ai. A ver, cada tu oía, cada tu huevo, oía, cada tu pongan llego a lo menos y cosas así. Pues entre este a ver de pollo, tantas mayores vende.
Esa gripe modelos oño tu gripe nativa lleva oñe uraje ya pope picado oño tu urara para que imbe huevo lleva cagua. Les llama imba lleva ni na siempre obrera acá tengo le cuidar, lo cuida, porque a veces llegó a llevar de provecho y dentro de la comunidad, ahora como originario llegó a llevar la cuidar tambah ellos y no exigen que tú jamás hacer bien de ir, a veces peores obrero pensar mi hija, pero ya llegó a llevar antes ya acá pato tu baite ma que ya se llega le cuidar gracias a la comunidad lleva mi o mo potin veo jugar ayer ya mi la cuidar ese ropi ponan baite oye ma la cuidar hola hoy yo me ya servía la vida comunidad que ya te miren no es
Oñangareco ponas ese fue porque creo que por ejemplo sé como personas atender o convenirse porque algunos con la reforestación algunos opaman las hojas se gusta y la rojo apa mala ore hevila ore ka o intia ya pero o convenio ore se la como la trabajo mía se gustala porque on ye ore la posibilidad la oña lo putala ore me buena vela y puru jamala ura mía la super corangwana.
Estamos de gente que era la supe ore roña entende hay parcelar roña entende ama porque la naturaleza y que actúan más o lo recuperar o la recoger y cuando hay que caer opa y que actúan más o vivir ya que tiene que agüe y que tú ya tuve ya la anima cuera y que tú ya la cuera me están con ya te no te no hay por ahí ni grado no güey que por escuela que hago es importante la los ensayos o pongan directa la que hago que portamos pues.
Una vida mejor para las personas, sin dejar a nadie atrás. Durante la última conferencia regional de la FAO celebrada en Georgetown, Guyana, los 33 Estados miembros aprobaron unánimemente 4 prioridades regionales interconectadas que reflejan las 4 mejoras de la FAO. 4 dimensiones que contribuyen a la transformación de los sistemas agroalimentarios y que guiarán a la organización en América Latina y el Caribe hasta 2026. América
A todo el público presente, en breves segundos iniciamos el desarrollo de esta ceremonia de celebración. Muy buenos días, tengan todos ustedes bienvenidos a la ceremonia de celebración del Día Mundial de las Legumbres en el Perú. Para eso, un fuerte aplauso, por favor. Es un honor realmente darles la bienvenida durante esta mañana del día de hoy, lunes 10 de febrero, y poder recibirlos a todos en el Ministerio de Desarrollo Agrario y Riego del Perú en esta significativa ceremonia para conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres. Nos acompañan en este acto protocolar el excelentísimo señor Manuel Manero Campos, Ministro de Desarrollo Agrario y Riego del Perú, a quien los saludamos en esta mañana. Un fuerte aplauso también para él. Y de manera similar, saludamos también al señor Jordi Yasmi, director de Producción y Protección Vegetal de la Organización de las Naciones Unidas para
of the FAO.
Tanto a ambos, al señor
We invite both Mr. Jordi Sami and Ángel Manuel Manero to please take a seat in the main stage to preside this protocol act on this World Pulses Day in Peru. Please take a seat. A warm hand of applause to all of them. Thank you for being here.
Bien, extendemos un saludo
We
obviamente
extend a special greeting to the ambassadors, distinguished authorities that are here with us today, producers of pulses that are here in such an important date as can be the World Pulses Day. In Peru, we have the privilege of having an enormous biodiversity, one of the richest on the planet. This biodiversity places us among 17 mega diverse countries in the world. This invaluable natural heritage is not only a source of vital resources for national development, but also plays a crucial role in global food security. Therefore, Peru, an ancient country, is hosting the official activities of FAO of United Nations for the celebration of the World Pulses Day, which is being held for the first time outside of its official headquarters in Rome. Thanks to the government, represented by the Ministry of Agrarian Development and Irrigation, Peru has the possibility of paying tribute to more than 140,000 producing families dedicated to cultivating different varieties of pulses. From that standpoint, we'd like to invite you to enjoy a video of the World Pulses Day, which is what we are celebrating today. Peru, a millenary country, earth of pulses producers, located in the western coast of Latin America, the center and origin of extraordinary pulses such as tarwi. Our cultural heritage takes us to understand that our past developed a great deal of these pulses. The consumption is fundamental for the food security worldwide and good nutrition, thanks to its properties of nitrogen fixing capacities. It fertilizes the soil and the environment. The seeds, which are edible, are present in all of the different gastronomies of the world. They constitute an extraordinary source of vegetable protein, which are rich in fiber, improves the digestive good quality digestive, and also reduces cardiovascular risk. Peru is a privileged country. We produce 13 species, out of which are 15 in Latin America. It is the most important income for 140,000 families that are dedicated to the production in all the regions of the nation, constituting an economic activity that is inclusive and generator of income, mostly in rural areas. It is estimated that at the world level, pulses are the basic source of food for more than 40 million people. It is without a doubt that pulses is an excellent food source, and Peru offers its great wealth and biodiversity.
Un fuerte aplauso por la
a big hand of applause for this broad amount of national products that we are able to produce in a land such as this. Now we would like to invite the important engineer Angel Manuel Manero, who is the Minister of the Agrarian Development and Irrigation, to the podium to welcome the initiation of this important event. I would like to welcome each one of you, Mr. Yasmin, who is a special envoy of FAO, Mariana, who's also always here, vice ministers, our agrarian director, our friends, ambassadors of such welcome countries, and all of you that are here in this world important event to talk about pulses, as the Peruvians know as menestras. It is a topic that has marked the agriculture of Peru for more than 8,000 years. We have been developing agricultures. Our native legumes have been part of Peruvian intake, and they are noble sources. It doesn't require a great deal of water. It improves the soils. They're not extractive as other crops. But it is also the other side, as its crop production has been easy in general. This has not meant important income for the producers. And this has been the history. Future comes with a different scenario. It's very good also to see the entrepreneurs, Mr. Velasquez, that has done a great deal for pulses in Peru. And he will share his opinion that the future is quite promising. Countries such as Peru have the responsibility and the important opportunity to feed the world that is progressing in numbers, in income, is going to open opportunities towards producers of the different crops. I've always stated that once one analyzes Peruvians' portfolio and how the international market is configuring itself, how we're opening markets, leaving aside tariffs and technical complexities with trade, Peru is assuming this important responsibility of feeding the world and finds opportunities for its producers. In some years, everything that is produced in Peru is going to have a major demand in the world. In a few years, all the production of the small-scale farmers will respond to a higher amount of income. We're not going to have those little drops that we've had sometimes. There's a drop of the prices of potatoes, of sweet potato, carrots, and eventually for short periods there's a drop of the lemon price of mangoes also. These are accommodating aspects that Peru is undergoing. Peru has a portfolio that it has to improve throughout the years, and we have to diversify even more the different types of crops, opening new opportunities. Everything related to the forestry area, we also have to develop it with strength. Once we have this portfolio developed, which is going to be soon, and what we have progressed in the last period of time, we will see that everything produced by Peru will have an important role in the world, and the activity of the small-scale farmers and also the biodiversity is going to have better returns for Peru. Therefore, we would like to thank FAO for making Peru putting Peru at the center of this event. We'd like to thank all the countries that are present in this celebration and all the professionals, producers, entrepreneurs, that have made Peru an important exporter of pulses. And we have already returned $100 million, and it is improving. And we know that in the future, Peru is going to be one of the main exporters of pulses and legumes in the world. Thank you all.
Muchas gracias al señor ministro por sus
Thank you,
palabras.
Minister, for your opening remarks. In Peru, thousands of families produce vegetables in coastal, highland, and jungle regions, contributing significantly to boosting the rural economy. Pulses cultivation is an inclusive activity, promoted mainly by family agriculture producers benefiting more than 700,000 people. This is why the Ministry of Agrarian Development and Irrigation, with FAO, has the honor of recognizing our producers as guardians of biodiversity, of pulse biodiversity, in appreciation for their invaluable work in conserving and promoting these species. These producers will receive a well-deserved recognition from the hands of our distinguished Minister of Agrarian Development and Irrigation and Mr. Director of Plant Production and Protection of FAO, Yurdi Yasmi, to stand, please, as we will invite our producers to receive the recognition. We would like to invite, first of all, Madame Adriana Iracema Valcárcel Manga, who will come to the main stage to receive the first recognition for the work that she has been developing as a producer of tarwi from Cusco, from the Cusco region, with over 20 years dedicated to producing this Andean legume. For most significant contribution has been the creation of tarwi oil, nutritional components of omega-3, 6, and 9. This oil gained international recognition in 2024, winning a prize for the World Specialty Oils competition in France. Mauro Antonio Margarito Rosas, please give a warm hand for him. Welcome. Mr. Margarito Rosas, who is a producer of tarwi from Ancash region, with more than 5 years experience cultivating this vegetable and implementing sustainable agronomical practices. Each grain of tarwi reflects the dedication and effort of a tradition that honors the region's flavor and natural wealth. Protocol picture. Thank you very much, Mauro Antonio Margarito Rosas. Thank you very much. A warm hand to Lisette Córdoba Sayas. Welcome. Lisette is also a bean producer from Junín. She has dedicated 14 years dedicated to growing paramita, caballero, canario, chalo beans. Throughout the years, she has worked to preserve these native varieties, ensuring her legacy and that of reaching all the different corners of the country. And all our cameras that are transmitting this ceremony throughout the world. Franklin Rios Zúñiga, welcome. Let's give him a warm welcome. I would like to mention that he's a producer of bean, tarwi, and payar from Junín. He practices family farming, planting several varieties. These crops provide him a livelihood, but also his commitment to the land and to local biodiversity. Thank you to Franklin Rios. We'd like to invite now, we receive her with a warm round of applause to Vivian Zúñiga Flores. Tarwi and Majuro are produced in the Ancash region by Vivian. For more than 13 years, she has been dedicated to the production, commercialization, and trade of these vegetables through her business in Perutambo, following the footsteps of her father. Over 30 years, she has been committed to this family tradition in the Andean region. Now let's receive Miguel Carvajal Collantes. A warm hand of applause for him also. Miguel produces beans in Cajamarca and San Marcos in the north of Peru. He has been incorporating organic practices in his crop for 2 years and actively participates in agricultural fairs in different areas of the country. Each season, he supplies 10 to 15 tons of beans to different commercial stores. And we would also like to invite Cynthia del Pilar Ramos Marchena to come to the stage. A warm hand of applause for Cynthia. She also produces tarwi in Ancash as a family farming process. In her home, she generates not only the income for her family, but also the essential source of diet and contributes to the well-being and development of her family. And now we would like to invite all the producers that have received a recognition to come on the stage to have a protocol photograph taken.
Esta vista final, la fotografía oficial. Muy bien, muchísimas gracias a ellos. Los invitamos a regresar a sus lugares
correspondientes. Thank you very much. We invite you to retake your seats and to continue with Mr. Minister, please, and Mr. Yuris also, please have a seat. Thank you very much for being here and for being honored today to recognize the work that you develop, not only for your families, but for the population of this country at large. Now we have the privilege to share a message for World Pulses Day, sent by the director of the Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations to recognize the significance of pulses for food security, health, and sustainable development. Without further ado, I invite you to watch His Excellency Mr. Koo Dong-shu's
Excellencies,
message.
ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. Today, we celebrate World Pulses Day 2025, and I would like to thank the government of Peru for hosting this important event. The world is facing a historically high level of food insecurity. 1 in 11 people globally faced hunger in 2023, and millions more are suffering from malnutrition, which threatens human development, especially those who are already vulnerable, put them even more at risk. FAO supports countries to transform agri-food system to be more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable. To address these challenges and meet the current and future food security needs, pulses bring the diversity to agri-food systems, farming system, and diets. They contribute to the healthy soil and have the low environmental footprint. They also have to increase soil fertility and in this way optimize the use of the fertilizers. Pulses are strategic crops, enabling us to produce more with less. They allow us to enhance agricultural productivity while they're reducing the negative impact on the environment. They are the nutrient-dense food packaged with protein, fibers, vitamins, and minerals, which are the essential to our health. For this reason, pulses are important contributors to the four betters: better production, better nutrition, a better environment, a better life, leaving no one behind. In Peru, Tarahui is a well-known pulses. Tarahui has multiple benefits, including environmental, nutritional, cultural, and social. It can grow in a harsh environment, thriving with little water, and has high nutrient values, yet it remains unutilized. This is why we are working with the government of Peru to tap into the full potential of this important pulse. Dear colleagues, to learn more about the full potential of all the pulses, we need to first working together with all the relevant partners, including the public and the private sectors. Second, leverage innovation. We need to focus on the developing new varieties with the better agronomic qualities, with the modern machinery needed to facilitate agricultural production and to create new and greater market opportunities. And the third, the increase investment in pulses and make them accessible to all. FAO remains committed to supporting the members in advancing work on pulses and to building on this important partnership for great impact. Our joint work with Peru is an excellent example of this fruitful collaboration. Let us celebrate pulses as a seed of the diversity for our agri-food systems. I thank you.
Le hacemos llegar.
Big round of applause now for the General Director of FAO.
Señor Koo Dong-shu. Y luego de poder escuchar.
And after listening to his words, we also have the possibility of being able to reflect on the importance of being able to continue promoting the consumption and growing of pulses for food security for the whole planet. So now, the presence of strategic partners, it is fundamental to promote the advantages of pulses. That is why now we will listen to the words of Mr. Clemente Baena Soares, Extraordinary Ambassador and of the Federative Republic of Brazil. Big round of applause for Mr. Clemente Baena Suarez.
Buenos días a todas y a
Good
todos.
morning, everyone. Mr. Minister, it is a pleasure to see you. Mr. Yurdi, a pleasure to get to meet you in person. All the other ambassadors, dear colleagues, and representatives, diplomatic missions, all of the producers who are here today on this very special day. I would like to thank the Ministry of Agrarian Development and Irrigation of Peru, MIDAGRI, and FAO Peru for the participation of Brazil in this commemoration of the World Day of Pulses, with the objective of sharing the importance of pulses in order to achieve food and nutritional security, and also for the preservation and sustainable use of biodiversity in agri-food systems. As you well know, the government of President Lula grants a fundamental priority to social inclusion and to the promotion of food security and also nutritional security. So this commitment was reflected during the Brazilian presidency of G20 last year in the launching of the Global Partnership Against Hunger and Poverty. This is an initiative that wants to join international efforts in order to promote the adoption of food safety policies and social protection policies. So we're very pleased that Peru is a founding member of the Global Partnership. FAO is also an important ally in the implementation of this initiative. So this is going to be represented tomorrow in FIDA in Rome in the first meeting of the Council of Champions of this alliance. And that is why this is a very meaningful moment to talk about how relevant pulses are for food and nutritional security and also for environmental sustainability. I would like to congratulate the Peruvian government for being the site for this year for the official ceremony for the World Pulses Day and also the role as promoter of this very important topic. In Brazil, the World Pulses Day receives ever more attention every year, and it's reflecting this acknowledgement of the importance of this group of foods for the country. And among pulses, the beans that I really like, actually, personally, this has a very highlighted place at the tables of Brazilian citizens. Brazil is the second producer and the main per capita consumer of beans per capita in the world, with the average consumption per inhabitants is 142.2 grams. It is the second most consumed food by the Brazilians after coffee. In the Brazilian diet, beans are eaten traditionally in a combination with rice, making it a very nutritious and balanced meal that is part of our cultural heritage. Brazil has the privilege of doing 3 yearly harvests of beans, which guarantees the internal supply and also strengthens the commercial balance through the exports. And for this, it is very important the culture of peanuts, soybeans, and seed producing plants. And this has had a great increase in the last few years. Our country currently produces 14 varieties of beans, which is the result of extensive research done by the Brazilian company of farming research, Agrapa, especially by Agrapa. They have 6 labs and they have worked since 1974 in the development of more productive cultivars that are of better quality and have a lower environmental impact. The active bank of Agrapa has a collection of 17,346 That's a very precise number, isn't it? Okay. Of beans varieties, including traditional varieties and lines coming from also lines coming from improvement programs in Brazil and abroad, and also some wild varieties. This is essential work to guarantee the resilience and sustainability of the production and the future. Beans, as so many other pulses that are produced and eaten in our countries, are nutritious foods rich in proteins, fibers, and vitamins, and B vitamins, and also minerals such as iron, zinc, and calcium. Their high content of fiber and low caloric density provides a very high power of fulfillment of satiety, and they are an affordable, healthy option for the whole population. One of the typical Brazilian dishes is, as maybe you all know, feijoada, that is made with beans and also some pork rinds. And this is a dish that is considered a national heritage dish representing the joy and the fraternal spirit of Brazil. It is a delicious recipe, nutritious, and that gathers the families around the table. However, we need to be concerned by the recent trend of reducing in the eating of beans, greatly because of the replacement by more processed foods. This change, this shift is not only threatening the health of the population, but also puts at risk our food traditions. That is why the World's Pulses Day is an opportunity, a unique opportunity to reinforce the importance of this very meaningful food. For Brazil, beans are food security and sustainability. They are low-cost protein that require very few water resources to be produced, and it sets nitrogen in the soil as well, apart from contributing to maintain our sustainable agri-food systems. Let the event of today inspire us all to strengthen even more the importance of pulses in our diets, promoting a future that is healthier, more sustainable, and better for the upcoming generations. I wish this event great success, and also thank the opportunity for sharing the Brazilian experience in this very important topic. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, embajador.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Baena Suarez.
Excelentísima personalidad, extraordinario y
He's an
plenipotenciario
extraordinary person from the Federative Republic of Brazil. Thank you so much for your participation. Today, we're celebrating the World Day of Pulses. The World Pulses Day is February 10th, and the challenge that humanity is facing is feeding a world population that is above the 8 billion people. And in this context, pulses present themselves as a valuable nutritional alternative to promote balanced and healthy diets. For this reason, it is crucial that we pay even more attention to these foods that are an essential part of our family groceries. In this sense, in order to deepen in the importance of this topic, we're going to be listening to the words of Mr. Yuri Yasmi, Director of Plant Production and Protection of FAO. Big round of applause for Mr. Yuri Yasmi.
Vamos a hablar en inglés.
We're going to be speaking in English now.
Distinguished guests, ambassadors, honorable ministers, happy World Pulses Day to all of you. It is an honor to be here today on behalf of the FAO Director General, Mr. Chu Dong-yu, to celebrate the World Pulses Days 2025. As we transform our agri-food systems to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, pulses stand as seeds of hope offering a range of benefits for nutrition, the environment, and the economy.
Excelencias, distinguidos invitados, colegas, feliz Día Mundial de las Legumbres. Es un honor estar hoy aquí en Lima en representación del director general de la FAO para celebrar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres 2025. A medida que transformamos nuestros sistemas agroalimentarios para alcanzar los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible, las legumbres destacan como las semillas de la esperanza, ofreciendo una variedad de beneficios para la nutrición, el medio ambiente y la economía.
As an affordable and accessible source of protein, pulses play a vital role in regions where animal protein are scarce. By incorporating them into our diet, we enhance our nutritional intake and benefit from food that is low in fat, high in fiber, and rich in essential vitamins and minerals.
Como una fuente asequible y accesible de proteína, las legumbres desempeñan un papel vital en las regiones de difícil acceso a la proteína animal. Al incorporarlas en nuestras dietas, mejoramos nuestra ingesta nutricional y nos beneficiamos de alimentos bajos en grasa, ricos en fibra y en vitaminas y minerales esenciales.
From an environmental perspective, pulses enable us to produce more with less. They naturally improve soil fertility, help to break pest and disease cycles, and reduce the need for external agricultural input, supporting sustainable agricultural practice.
Desde el punto de vista ambiental, las legumbres nos permiten producir más con menos. Mejoran la forma natural de la fertilidad del suelo, ayudan a romper los ciclos de plagas y enfermedades y reducen la necesidad de insumos agrícolas, apoyando de esta manera prácticas agrícolas sostenibles.
Economically, pulses offer significant income opportunity for millions of farmers worldwide. With global production exceeding 96 million tons annually, there is a growing market for value-added products such as plant-based protein, flours, and snacks.
Desde el punto de vista económico, las legumbres ofrecen importantes oportunidades de ingreso a millones de agricultores en todo el mundo. La producción mundial supera los 96 millones de toneladas anuales y el mercado para productos de valor agregado como proteínas vegetales, harinas y snacks continúa creciendo.
This year's celebration is special and historical, as it marks the first time that World Pulse Day is celebrated outside FAO headquarters. I would like to extend my gratitude to His Excellency Ángel Manero Campos for his invitation to host the celebration in Peru. I also would like to thank the entire team from Midagri, who have worked closely with my FAO colleagues to make this international celebration a success.
La celebración de este año es especial e histórica, ya que marca la primera vez que el Día Mundial de las Legumbres se celebra fuera de la sede central de la FAO. Quisiera expresar mi gratitud a Su Excelencia Ángel Manero Campos por su decisión de organizar la celebración en Perú. También me gustaría agradecer a todo el equipo de Midagri que ha trabajado con mis colegas de la FAO para hacer de esta celebración internacional un éxito.
Through the globally important Agricultural Heritage Systems (GIAS) initiative, FAO has long supported pulses as key crops of Andean agriculture, an indigenous farming system that has evolved over more than 5,000 years. A key achievement of this initiative has been the improvement of the productivity of pulses such as tarwi and fava beans, along with the promotion of technologies for value-added processing. These pulses play a crucial role in supporting the sustainable use of agrobiodiversity and restoring ecosystem services, contributing to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals.
A través de la iniciativa Sistemas Importantes del Patrimonio Agrícola Mundial, conocida como CIPAM, la FAO ha apoyado las legumbres como cultivos claves de la agricultura andina. Un sistema agrícola autóctono que ha evolucionado a lo largo de más de 5.000 años. Logros claves de esta iniciativa han sido la mejora de la productividad de legumbres como el tarwi y las habas, y la producción de tecnologías para su cultivo y procesamiento. Estas legumbres desempeñan un papel crucial en el apoyo al uso sostenible de la agrobiodiversidad y la restauración de los servicios ecosistémicos, contribuyendo a los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible.
I'm pleased to see farmers joining us today in this celebration, our everyday heroes in achieving zero hunger and sustainable agri-food systems. Their resilience and dedication to cultivating pulses not only nourish the land, but also ensure equitable access to nutritious food for all. Despite challenges like climate change, they continue to stand at the forefront of food production, and today we recognize and celebrate their invaluable contributions.
Me complace ver que se unan a esta celebración los agricultores, nuestros héroes cotidianos en la realización del objetivo hambre cero y del sistema agroalimentario sostenible. Su resiliencia y dedicación al cultivo de las legumbres no solo nutre la tierra, sino que también garantiza el acceso equitativo a alimentos nutritivos. A pesar de retos como el cambio climático, continúan apoyando la producción de alimentos y hoy reconocemos y celebramos sus invaluables contribuciones.
Each of us here can play a key role in boosting the sustainable production and consumption of pulses from the field to our tables. May the impact of this event transcend beyond this gathering itself, inspire new partnerships, projects, public policies, research, and of course, in the dishes that we will share with our families and communities. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Cada uno de nosotros puede desempeñar un papel clave en el fomento de la producción y el consumo de legumbres, desde el campo hasta nuestras mesas. Que el impacto de este evento trascienda más allá de esta reunión, inspirando nuevas asociaciones, proyectos, políticas públicas, investigación y, por supuesto, en los platos que compartiremos con nuestras familias y comunidades. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias al señor.
Thank you very much to Mr. Director of Plant Production and Protection, Jordi Yasmi.
Muy bien, en esta mañana hemos estado
This morning, we have been talking a lot about the richness that lies in pulses and the products that have a high protein value, minerals and nutrients that are all essential for a good nourishment. Peru is a country that is producer of these products, but not only we have this type of richness, we have a broader richness, very varied. And in a morning such as this one, we're going to be enjoying of an artistic show full with color, rhythm, and traditional dance that is going to be capturing the diversity and the spirit of Peru, reflecting our rich cultural heritage. And for this, we're going to be presenting the members of Raíces de América, who are going to be playing for us a mix of dance of our Peruvian culture, Manera Licha and Alegría de la Selva. Let's go with them.
Acompañamos con palmas, ¿ah? Vamos a acompañar con palmas.
Now we're going to be clapping.
Fuerte las palmas. Acompañamos con aplausos.
Big round of applause.
Vamos con el fin de fiesta y este tondero de una gran exponente musical
the
como
party
puede ser nuestra gran Eva Ayón.
with great Eva Ayón.
Que me vio nacer.
Vamos, las palmas arriba. Eso. Acompañemos.
Que llena de gloria nuestro corazón. Que llena de gloria nuestro corazón. Y aprendí que el Perú es Machu Picchu y es el señor de Zipa, como las líneas de Nazca y las ruinas de Chan Chan, para Cachabín de Huantar, los mochicas y los chimúes, los guaribicus y huancas, orgullos de mi Perú, país de hombres y mujeres de irreductible valor, del imperio de los incas y el grito libertador, de Junín y de Ayacucho, 2 de mayo en el Callao, Perú es Alfonso Ugarte, Boloñez y Miguel Grau, que vive el Perú, señores, que viva la vida entera, que vivan nuestros colores, arriba nuestra bandera. ¡Hey! Porque soy peruana, yo vivo orgullosa de mi tierra hermosa, de mi patria entera. Qué linda mi costa y mi cordillera, arriba la selva, de todas maneras, sí, porque soy peruana, yo vivo orgullosa de mi tierra hermosa, de mi patria entera. Qué linda mi costa y mi cordillera, arriba la selva, de todas maneras, que vive el Perú, señores, viva el Perú.
Fuerte las palmas para los
Big round of
integrantes.
applause for the members of Raíces de América group that have brought us free dances, one of each one of the regions of our dear Peru. Of course, each one of these regions produces pulses not only for Peru, but also for the world. Thank you. To all of you, we would like to invite you, because we are going now to the end of this, but to the end of the program. Now we're going to be inviting the Director of FAO and the Minister of Agrarian and Irrigation Development Ministry, Midagri, to see the market that we're going to see on the right-hand side, because we have exhibitions of our different agrarian products, and our producers are bringing for all of the change of pulses that have been summoned today for this very important act. And with that, we would like to add Madam Mariana Escobar, representative of FAO in our dear Peru. This is a table that has been prepared with our producers from the different areas of our country. The lady here is from the Amazons, Karen Danitza Chavez. She comes from a family of producers. Her grandparents sowed these beautiful products that we see here. Well, first of all, good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation. The Amazon region is here present today. I come on representation of the small farmers of the Rodriguez de Mendoza provinces, Loya and Chachapoyas, bringing 50 varieties of pulses between lima beans, peas, broad beans, pigeon peas, fava beans, etc. So it is great to be present here and invite you to see the Amazon region. Thank you so much. Which one is the one you like the most? So we continue with the Ancash region. Mr. Minister, please.
Aquí presentes, por favor, mantener sus lugares, su ubicación para no...
Están aquí presentes.
So here we have two farmers, we have a family dedicated to the production, and now they're already processing their pulses. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am very happy that you are promoting pulses that are a heritage and cultural part, and also part of our cultural identity, because each seed, it's not only life, it is also part of our cultural identity and part of ourselves. So I am very happy to see that you're promoting this. And Hiwa brought fajuro or bashuro, which is a native Andean pulse that we now process in meal, crackers, biscuits, breads, and buns. And we also have tarwe or lupin bean and others. Can we just eat them like that? No, you need to cook it. So we continue. Thank you, Vivian. And these people are from ICA, Mr. Juanjo Ramos from the University González de ICA, and Professor Luz Espinosa. They also have something important to tell you. Yes, we are producers of lima beans, especially in the Ica, Palpa, and Nazca provinces. The Santa Cruz de Palpa Valley also joins the production with chickpeas. For the lima beans, we have origin denomination, and we're trying to keep this variety, and we're trying to promote it. Let's continue with the path. Our ambassadors are also joining on. Let's go to Cajamarca, Mr. Miguel Carvajal Collantes. He's also joining us. Hello, good afternoon. I represent 101 associated farmers in the department of Cajamarca, and within the main characteristics of the products, we have the organic certification, and we can also offer great volumes for exports, always keeping the traditional methods and organic farming. So I don't know if I'm allowed to give a gift to the representative of FAO. What is it? These are some pulses typical from the Cajamarca region, and that is our brand. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Are they for export products or just for domestic market? Currently, we are supplying the Lima market, but we have the certification and all of the permits to export them. We're just waiting for an opportunity to do so. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's continue now. We're in Junín. This is a family producing, even their young child has joined them. This is Lizeth Cordova, a producer of bean in Junín. This is an area that has more than 60 varieties being produced. Within this, we have some varieties that are still not traded, but they're very delicious, but they're very unknown as well. Good morning. Thank you very much, first of all, for doing this very important event. We want that you know this, because Paraguanta is an agro-biodiversity area where we grow beans, more than 60 varieties of beans. We are women who look after our Andean 1,000-year-old seeds, and we would love that you can also know these more than 60 varieties of products. Not only that, we have even more that we would like that you know and that the whole world could eat them. As you can see here, this is the chayo bean. The market still doesn't know it, but we would love that you would eat it. It's tastier than commercial beans, such as the white, yellow beans and other very well-known meat, but this chayo bean is much tastier, it's healthier as well. And we also have pajuro that we also grow. It is resistant to drought, and it is also very tasty. I invite you to visit Paraguanca. Thank you very much. We continue here, another producer of Junín, Franklin Elario, producer of tarwi bean, and he has brought us in his exhibition the wild flower of tarwi. Yes, how do you do? Good morning. I am here on representation of all of the young people of my region to send you the message that our farms these days are alone. So our parents and grandparents are very old, and we, the young people, have the work of continuing preserving all of these seeds and have agriculture persevering for many more years in Peru. Thank you so much. We will continue now. And also the other young lady that is with us now comes from Ayacucho. Zaira Francisca Cerda Tenorio. And what she's doing now is to process this as snacks, and she'll tell you more about it. Hello, good morning. I would like to present you a healthy, delicious snack. It's made from tarwe. These are beans covered in cacao chocolate, 60% chocolate. And with these, we want to promote the growth of tarwe in my region so we can show the power of tarwe in the world.
Es muy rico, también es hecho con cacao.
It's delicious as well. It's also from cacao from the Bram, Ayacucho region. Stunning, thank you. And this part now is for our more processed pulses in bread. And as you can see, we have Chef Adolfo Perret. He prepares a lot of dishes from all of these pulses. Hello, this is a sample of what gastronomy can do. How can we contribute with childhood and world food? It is the best way of using our pulses in stews that have high content of protein, but also they look stunning because Peruvian cooking is colorful, is full of expressions, especially regional cooking, where all of the producers that we have, based on this, we have done some representative dishes so they can be replicated in the households by all the parents, mothers and fathers.
Thank you, Mr. Perret. It is a solterito with fava beans. We have done an Andean nutritional. We also have chickpeas and tarwe hamburgers type. They're all made out of beans. Patties, I would say, instead of hamburgers, patties. These are patties made out of tarwe.
And then you have to make a season or marinade with lime juice, in this case, a little bit of oil and vinegar and a little bit of lime juice. Okay. Salt and pepper and finish. It's so easy.
Muy saludable.
Very healthy. Continuamos
Very
entonces.
healthy. So we will continue now. So as you continue, Mauro Margarito Roto and Mrs. Marchena, they're part of the cooperative Perla de los Andes. We're 90 people. They're all partners, and they promote, as you can see, this is the tarwe. It's already been processed. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation. From Ancash, we are present, the agroecological Perla de los Andes cooperative. So it's 90 partners. We have been able, with our family farming, we have been able to develop the grain of tarwe, dehydrated in a dehydrated form, and also made out of flour. We have also developed flour products. And so we want to continue with the heritage of our farming and take our products to various families at the world level. Thank you very much. We will continue on this path that we're on. Madame Adriana Siracema from Cusco. She has won a very important prize, award rather. She has an exposure. She has tarwe oil production. Good afternoon. I am Adriana from Cusco, Cusco Yaspi. She's speaking in her local language. We are in the entire value chain of Andean pulses such as tarwe from our farms. We have experimental ecological center, which is part of Caucatambo, which is 3,600 micro basin of the Vilcanoto, 3,600 meters above sea level. We have received a prize, an award for the oil of tarwe because of the omega-3, 6, and 9 value that it has. We are taking our legumes to a high level of biodiversity, and tarwe is the liquid gold and sacred gold of the Incas. Would you like to try it? It has received an international award in France. In a little cookie. Try it, please.
Las galletas también son a base
These
de
cookies are
legumbres.
also made out of tarwi.
Prensado en frío.
It has been cold pressed.
Para quienes están siguiendo la
For those of you that are
transmisión
following
de
the
este evento a través
transmission
de
of
la
this
página
event
oficial de la Oficina
through the
Regional de la FAO
official
para América Latina y el Caribe,
page of FAO online, and all of those that are connected to this channel, we are concluding this first part of the transmission. This is a company that promotes the consumption of pulses through bread. This is Nova, and as you can see, they have brought samples of bread made out of fava beans with tarwi, and this is one of the producers. Good afternoon to all of you. We have tried to put our pulses into the products. You can see this is a mixture of tarwi with other products. We also have a school where we bring the raw material and we produce a completely organic. And it has a unique texture. It has a very ancestral management. It has a higher amount of humidity. It lasts longer, and it has an adequate texture. We transform into bread, into products. That is our company. Where can we obtain these breads? I will give you the address so you can acquire it. Thank you very much. Very well requested, certainly. We will continue with our path. This is a group, Vidagri, with introducing biodiversity. Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to this stand of the Ministry of Agriculture through the National Institute for Agrarian Innovation. We have produced more than. Okay, we stop the transmission now.
país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, es centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
¿Hay algo más rico, más delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Batteri yılına hoş geldiniz. Batteri mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल-अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطن.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E o meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा आएगा.
Pulses are not just for adults, but also for kids.
豆子美味又营养，我最爱吃红豆。Sieva bovi vkusni, a ja lublю горох. Les légumineuses sont très bonnes. Les navets sont mes préférés. Pulses taste great. My favorites, navy beans.
جميع أنواع البقوليات لذيذة. أنا أحب الفول.
Sí, las legumbres son deliciosas y las caraotas negras son mis preferidas.
Clearly, kids know a lot, and there is a lot to love about pulses. They are healthy, environmentally friendly, affordable, and delicious. So on this World Pulses Day, let's all celebrate what it is that makes pulses so special to each of us. My favorites are chickpeas.
Kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, jack beans, navy beans, rice beans, lentils too. Pigeon peas, chickpeas, tarwi vetches, lupins, yellow, white and blue. We're just some of your favorite pulses, dry seeds of leguminous plants. Environment friendly and climate smart. We enrich the soil and boost your heart. We're protein, fibre and mineral rich, supporting your gut so you feel great. And best of all, we're everywhere, in countries and regions around the globe. So whenever you need some nourishment, you will find us close to home. Pulses, don't you just love us?
¿Por qué es nutritivo un plato de legumbres y por qué deberías consumirlas más? Te explico, esto es Ciencia y Cocina. No importa si los llamas garbanzos, frijoles o porotos, alubias, lentejas, chícharos, arvejas o guisantes. La ciencia ha comprobado la importancia de estas para el crecimiento y el desarrollo, ya que aportan proteína y nutrientes de calidad. Además de ser sabrosas, las puedes mezclar como quieras para beneficiarte de una alimentación más equilibrada. Combínalas con más vegetales, carbohidratos y otras carnes. Y como extra, son altas en hierro, así ayudan a prevenir la anemia tanto en mujeres como en niños. Por otro lado, son las mejores aliadas para controlar el peso. Al ser bajas en grasas, ricas en fibra y con un bajo índice glicémico, un plato de legumbres tiene el poder de hacerte sentir satisfecho por más tiempo. Perfecto para quienes buscan energía constante. Como también, gracias a su fibra soluble, ayudan a reducir el colesterol malo y eso beneficia a tu corazón. Este 10 de febrero, la FAO nos invita a conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres para sensibilizar a la sociedad sobre el papel fundamental que desempeñan en la transformación hacia unos sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles con miras a una mejor producción, una mejor nutrición, un mejor medio ambiente y una vida mejor sin dejar a nadie atrás. Así que ya sabes, consume legumbres ya que te benefician en sabor, salud y nutrición. ¿Cuál es tu plato favorito de legumbres? Déjalo en los comentarios.
Perú, país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
¿Hay algo más rico, más delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Uluslararası Baklagil Yılı'na hoş geldiniz. Baklagil sizin mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطن.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E o meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा आएगा.
Pulses are not just for adults, but also for kids.
豆子美味又营养，我最爱吃红豆。Сєва бові вкусні, а я люблю горох.
Les légumineuses sont très bonnes. Les nievés sont mes préférés.
Pulses taste great. My favorites, navy beans.
جميع أنواع البقوليات لذيذة. أنا أحب الفول.
Sí, las legumbres son deliciosas y las caraotas negras son mis preferidas.
Clearly, kids know a lot, and there is a lot to love about pulses. They are healthy, environmentally friendly, affordable, and delicious. So on this World Pulses Day, let's all celebrate what it is that makes pulses so special to each of us. My favorites are chickpeas.
Kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, jack beans, navy beans, rice beans, lentils too. Pigeon peas, chickpeas, tarwi vetches, lupins, yellow, white, and blue. We're just some of your favorite pulses, dry seeds of leguminous plants. Environment friendly and climate smart. We enrich the soil and boost your heart. We're protein, fiber, and mineral rich, supporting your gut so you feel great. And best of all, we're everywhere, in countries and regions around the globe. So whenever you need some nourishment, you will find us close to home. Pulses, don't you just love us?
¿Por qué es nutritivo un plato de legumbres y por qué deberías consumirlas más? Te explico, esto es Ciencia y Cocina. No importa si los llamas garbanzos, frijoles o porotos, alubias, lentejas, chícharos, arvejas o guisantes. La ciencia ha comprobado la importancia de estas para el crecimiento y el desarrollo, ya que aportan proteína y nutrientes de calidad. Además de ser sabrosas, las puedes mezclar como quieras para beneficiarte de una alimentación más equilibrada. Combínalas con más vegetales, carbohidratos y otras carnes. Y como extra, son altas en hierro, así ayudan a prevenir la anemia tanto en mujeres como en niños. Por otro lado, son las mejores aliadas para controlar el peso. Al ser bajas en grasas, ricas en fibra y con un bajo índice glicémico, un plato de legumbres tiene el poder de hacerte sentir satisfecho por más tiempo. Perfecto para quienes buscan energía constante. Como también, gracias a su fibra soluble, ayudan a reducir el colesterol malo y eso beneficia a tu corazón. Este 10 de febrero, la FAO nos invita a conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres para sensibilizar a la sociedad sobre el papel fundamental que desempeñan en la transformación hacia unos sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles con miras a una mejor producción, una mejor nutrición, un mejor medio ambiente y una vida mejor sin dejar a nadie atrás. Así que ya sabes, consume legumbres ya que te benefician en sabor, salud y nutrición. ¿Cuál es tu plato favorito de legumbres? Déjalo en los comentarios.
Perú, país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
más rico, más delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Uluslararası Baklagil Yılı'na hoş geldiniz. Baklagil sizin mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल-अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطن.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E o meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा आएगा.
Pulses are not just for adults, but also for kids.
豆是美味又营养，我最爱吃红豆。Сева бови вкусни, а я люблю горох. Les légumineuses sont très bonnes. Les navets sont mes préférés. Pulses taste great. My favorites, navy beans.
جميع أنواع البقوليات لذيذة. أنا أحب الفول.
Sí, las legumbres son deliciosas y las caraotas negras son mis preferidas.
Clearly, kids know a lot, and there is a lot to love about pulses. They are healthy, environmentally friendly, affordable, and delicious. So on this World Pulses Day, let's all celebrate what it is that makes pulses so special to each of us. My favorites are chickpeas.
kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, jack beans, navy beans, rice beans, lentils too. Pigeon peas, chickpeas, tarwi vetches, lupins, yellow, white, and blue. We're just some of your favorite pulses, dry seeds of leguminous plants. Environment friendly and climate smart. We enrich the soil and boost your heart. We're protein, fiber, and mineral rich, supporting your gut so you feel great. And best of all, we're everywhere, in countries and regions around the globe. So whenever you need some nourishment, you will find us close to home. Pulses, don't you just love us?
¿Por qué es nutritivo un plato de legumbres y por qué deberías consumirlas más? Te explico, esto es Ciencia y Cocina. No importa si los llamas garbanzos, frijoles o porotos, alubias, lentejas, chícharos, arvejas o guisantes. La ciencia ha comprobado la importancia de estas para el crecimiento y el desarrollo, ya que aportan proteína y nutrientes de calidad. Además de ser sabrosas, las puedes mezclar como quieras para beneficiarte de una alimentación más equilibrada. Combínalas con más vegetales, carbohidratos y otras carnes. Y como extra, son altas en hierro, así ayudan a prevenir la anemia tanto en mujeres como en niños. Por otro lado, son las mejores aliadas para controlar el peso. Al ser bajas en grasas, ricas en fibra y con un bajo índice glicémico, un plato de legumbres tiene el poder de hacerte sentir satisfecho por más tiempo. Perfecto para quienes buscan energía constante. Como también, gracias a su fibra soluble, ayudan a reducir el colesterol malo y eso beneficia a tu corazón. Este 10 de febrero, la FAO nos invita a conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres para sensibilizar a la sociedad sobre el papel fundamental que desempeñan en la transformación hacia unos sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles con miras a una mejor producción, una mejor nutrición, un mejor medio ambiente y una vida mejor sin dejar a nadie atrás. Así que ya sabes, consume legumbres ya que te benefician en sabor, salud y nutrición. ¿Cuál es tu plato favorito de legumbres? Déjalo en los comentarios.
Perú, país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
más delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Uluslararası Baklagil Yılı'na hoş geldiniz. Baklagil sizin mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطاني.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E o meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा आएगा.
Pulses are not just for adults, but also for kids.
豆子美味又营养，我最爱吃红豆。Sjevabovi вкусни, а я люблю горох. Les légumineuses sont très bonnes. Les navets sont mes préférés. Pulses taste great. My favorites, navy beans.
جميع أنواع البقوليات لذيذة. أنا أحب الفول.
Sí, las legumbres son deliciosas y las caraotas negras son mis preferidas.
Clearly, kids know a lot, and there is a lot to love about pulses. They are healthy, environmentally friendly, affordable, and delicious. So on this World Pulses Day, let's all celebrate what it is that makes pulses so special to each of us. My favorites are chickpeas.
kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, jack beans, navy beans, rice beans, lentils too. Pigeon peas, chickpeas, tarwi vetches, lupins, yellow, white, and blue. We're just some of your favorite pulses, dry seeds of leguminous plants. Environment friendly and climate smart. We enrich the soil and boost your heart. We're protein, fiber, and mineral rich, supporting your gut so you feel great. And best of all, we're everywhere, in countries and regions around the globe. So whenever you need some nourishment, you will find us close to home. Pulses, don't you just love us?
¿Por qué es nutritivo un plato de legumbres y por qué deberías consumirlas más? Te explico, esto es Ciencia y Cocina. No importa si los llamas garbanzos, frijoles o porotos, alubias, lentejas, chícharos, arvejas o guisantes. La ciencia ha comprobado la importancia de estas para el crecimiento y el desarrollo, ya que aportan proteína y nutrientes de calidad. Además de ser sabrosas, las puedes mezclar como quieras para beneficiarte de una alimentación más equilibrada. Combínalas con más vegetales, carbohidratos y otras carnes. Y como extra, son altas en hierro, así ayudan a prevenir la anemia tanto en mujeres como en niños. Por otro lado, son las mejores aliadas para controlar el peso. Al ser bajas en grasas, ricas en fibra y con un bajo índice glicémico, un plato de legumbres tiene el poder de hacerte sentir satisfecho por más tiempo. Perfecto para quienes buscan energía constante. Como también, gracias a su fibra soluble, ayudan a reducir el colesterol malo y eso beneficia a tu corazón. Este 10 de febrero, la FAO nos invita a conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres para sensibilizar a la sociedad sobre el papel fundamental que desempeñan en la transformación hacia unos sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles con miras a una mejor producción, una mejor nutrición, un mejor medio ambiente y una vida mejor sin dejar a nadie atrás. Así que ya sabes, consume legumbres ya que te benefician en sabor, salud y nutrición. ¿Cuál es tu plato favorito de legumbres? Déjalo en los comentarios.
Perú, país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
más delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Uluslararası Baklagil Yılı'na hoş geldiniz. Baklagil sizin mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ.
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطاني.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E o meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा आएगा.
Pulses are not just for adults, but also for kids.
豆子美味又营养，我最爱吃红豆。Сєва був вкусний, а я люблю горох. Les légumineuses sont très bonnes. Les navets sont mes préférés. Pulses taste great. My favorites, navy beans.
جميع أنواع البقوليات لي. أنا أحب الفول.
Sí, las legumbres son deliciosas y las caraotas negras son mis preferidas.
Clearly, kids know a lot, and there is a lot to love about pulses. They are healthy, environmentally friendly, affordable, and delicious. So on this World Pulses Day, let's all celebrate what it is that makes pulses so special to each of us. My favorites are chickpeas.
kidney beans, mung beans, black beans, jack beans, navy beans, rice beans, lentils too. Pigeon peas, chickpeas, tarwi vetches, lupins, yellow, white, and blue. We're just some of your favorite pulses, dry seeds of leguminous plants. Environment friendly and climate smart. We enrich the soil and boost your heart. We're protein, fiber, and mineral rich, supporting your gut so you feel great. And best of all, we're everywhere, in countries and regions around the globe. So whenever you need some nourishment, you will find us close to home. Pulses, don't you just love us?
¿Por qué es nutritivo un plato de legumbres y por qué deberías consumirlas más? Te explico, esto es Ciencia y Cocina. No importa si los llamas garbanzos, frijoles o porotos, alubias, lentejas, chícharos, arvejas o guisantes, la ciencia ha comprobado la importancia de estas para el crecimiento y el desarrollo, ya que aportan proteína y nutrientes de calidad. Además de ser sabrosas, las puedes mezclar como quieras, para beneficiarte de una alimentación más equilibrada. Combínalas con más vegetales, carbohidratos y otras carnes. Y como extra, son altas en hierro. Así ayudan a prevenir la anemia tanto en mujeres como en niños. Por otro lado, son las mejores aliadas para controlar el peso. Al ser bajas en grasas, ricas en fibra y con un bajo índice glicémico, un plato de legumbres tiene el poder de hacerte sentir satisfecho por más tiempo. Perfecto para quienes buscan energía constante. Como también, gracias a su fibra soluble, ayudan a reducir el colesterol malo y eso beneficia a tu corazón. Este 10 de febrero, la FAO nos invita a conmemorar el Día Mundial de las Legumbres para sensibilizar a la sociedad sobre el papel fundamental que desempeñan en la transformación hacia unos sistemas agroalimentarios más eficientes, inclusivos, resilientes y sostenibles con miras a una mejor producción, una mejor nutrición, un mejor medio ambiente y una vida mejor sin dejar a nadie atrás. Así que ya sabes, consume legumbres ya que te benefician en sabor, salud y nutrición. ¿Cuál es tu plato favorito de legumbres? Déjalo en los comentarios.
Perú, país milenario, tierra de productores de legumbres. Ubicado en la costa occidental de América del Sur, centro de origen de importantes legumbres como el frijol, el payar y el tarwi. Nuestros antepasados trabajaron arduamente para domesticar las legumbres con las que hoy se alimenta el mundo. Su consumo es fundamental para la seguridad alimentaria mundial y la buena nutrición. Gracias a sus propiedades fijadoras de nitrógeno, se mejora la fertilidad del suelo y el medio ambiente. Estas semillas comestibles están presentes en las distintas gastronomías del mundo. Constituyen una fuente excelente de proteínas vegetales, ricas en fibra, lo que mejora la salud digestiva y reduce los riesgos de sufrir enfermedades cardiovasculares. Perú es un país privilegiado. Aquí se produce 3 especies de las 15 de América Latina, que representa el principal ingreso para más de 140.000 familias que se dedican a su cultivo en todas las regiones del país, constituyéndose en una actividad económica inclusiva y generadora de ingresos principalmente en hogares rurales. Se estima que a nivel mundial las legumbres forman parte de la dieta básica de más de 400 millones de personas. Sin duda, las legumbres son un excelente alimento y el Perú les ofrece su gran riqueza y biodiversidad.
delicioso, más barato que las legumbres?
The people's universal, sustainable, and perfectly balanced protein for human nutrition.
Uluslararası Baklagil Yılı'na hoş geldiniz. Baklagil sizin mutfak dişleri.
मैं आपको दालों के बैनुल अक़वामी साल में खुशामदीद करती हूँ।
أهلا ومرحبا بكم في السنة الدولية للقطن.
Bienvenidos al Año Internacional de las Legumbres. En México los frijoles han sido un alimento ancestral.
E meu conselho é que a gente explore a maior variedade possível desses grãos.
Kama napika maharage, napenda kuongeza nazi.
दाल पकाते समय उसमें थोड़ा सा हल्दी और देसी घी पहले ही डाल दीजिए, फ्लेवर बहुत अच्छा है।
Esperamos solamente la confirmación respecto de la conexión que tenemos para esta transmisión del evento. Saben que el mismo es a nivel internacional. Están haciendo las coordinaciones del caso técnicas para poder, obviamente, ¿nos dan el visto? Perfecto, muchísimas gracias por ello. Bien, entonces vamos a iniciar. ¿Okay? En la continuación de nuestra agenda prevista para el día de hoy por el Día Internacional, por el Día Mundial de las Legumbres a nivel internacional, nosotros vamos a continuar en esta ocasión ya en un ambiente diferente al que nos albergó en las primeras horas de la mañana.
The session will be talking about the potential that pulses have to diversify agri-food systems and how the positive impact of pulses can contribute to the sustainability of agri-food. We have various guests with us. Without further ado, and before we begin this second segment of this fora, we would like to introduce Vice Minister, Ministry of Agricultural Development and Irrigation of this country, Mr. Ivan Ramos Pastor. Please provide us with your opening remarks in the second segment. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Buenos días.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Jordi Jasmi, Director of Production and Protection of Vegetable Production at FAO, Madame Mariana Escobar, who represents FAO, Ms. Angela Medina, who is the Director of the Agriculture and Ecology Office, dear authorities, distinguished guests, producers, researchers, representatives of the agri-food system, all friends. It is an honor to welcome you to this fora on pulses that provide agri-food support on this day in which we celebrate the legumes, as we call it in our country, menestras. We recognize the fundamental role of these products and crops in nutrition and environmental sustainability. Pulses have been an essential part of our agricultural history and our gastronomical history in proteins, fiber, micronutrients, and make them into key allies in the struggle against hunger and malnutrition, as we were able to experience today in the tasting period we had previous to this event. Its enormous capacity to manipulate nutrient that improves the quality of the soil and provides a more resilient and sustainable earth. This forum is an opportunity to share innovation experiences that will allow us to strengthen the role of pulses in our agri-food systems. From the government, we would like to underline our commitment to launch laws that will promote trade, distribution, and benefiting our producers and farmers, and promoting a better health and nutrition for all. I would like to invite all of you to actively participate in this dialogue and participation fora, so that these pulses will be the pillar of a sustainable agricultural system, which will provide us with balanced nourishment. Thank you very much, and I hope we have a fruitful meeting.
Muchas gracias al Viceministro de Desarrollo.
Vice Minister for the Ministry of Development and Irrigation, Mr. Ivan Ramos Pastor, for the opening remarks. We'd like to open the floor now. As of now, Teodardo Calles, who is the Agricultural Officer for Plant Production and Protection Division at FAO, who will be in charge of the technical facilitation of this dialogue that will be taking place on the stage now. Mr. Teodardo Calles. Thank you, Vice Minister. Mr. Vice Minister, it seems you have other occupations that they're confirming. I would like to excuse myself. Mr. Vice Minister Ramos has obligations and responsibilities that he has to continue. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you, Minister. So now we have Mr. Teodardo Calles in charge of the following part of the event. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Firstly, I would like to clarify how this is going to take place. This is not a normal presentation. We're going to have a dialogue And we want everyone that is in the amphitheater or auditorium to interact with us. Colleagues, you can write down some notes if you have any questions. You can just write your name or the person that you would like to send the question to. For those that have internet, there are some cards that have a code that you can scan, and you can also write your questions there. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our panelists today. First, we have Dr. Cecilia Wajensky, who is the Associate Professor of the Agronomical Sciences of Universidad de Chile. Her research lines are production and management of sustainable agricultural product, out of which beans, chickpeas, and lentils. Her research is the efficient use of water and nitrogen and the functional and nutritional capacities of these grains. Ingeniero Carola Vanto, who is the corporate analysis of research and development and research of Damper. Engineer Bantor has 25 years experience in research and development of quality products. In this area, she has accumulated experience in public and international companies in national and consumption worldwide. Thank you. Thank you and welcome. Third panelist, we have Engineer Jose Gonzalez, who is a research coordinator for biodiversity SCAT. He has experience in genetic resources and biotechnology and conservation of geoplasma. Since 2017, he has been a coordinator of biodiversity SEAT, where he leads the collection of more than 22,600 legumes. And finally, we have lawyer Julio Francisco Castillo, who is the founder and president of Mega Business Corporation and the foundation Albacuna. He is from San Martín de Porres. He has been working for 30 years in the gastronomical international organizations. And to all our panelists, we would like to welcome all of you. Let's begin with Professor Wajensky. In your book, Cecilia, which is called The Great Beans, La Gran Porota, the bean plays an fundamental role for modern agriculture. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? Very well. Thank you. Good afternoon to all of you. I would like to, before answering the question by Teo, is to thank FAO, Peru, and Jordi Jasmi, who is the Director of Production and Protection of FAO, Teodardo Calles, who's also an officer of FAO, and Madame Ángeles Medina Cruzado, who is in the development agroecology of Mirae. I'd like to thank all of them for this invitation. In that which relates to your question, this is a book that we wrote during the pandemic, and it's related to the low consumption we have of legumes in our country, of pulses in general. This was a national competition that we carried out, contest, if you will, requesting people to send their recipes and trying to rescue the culinary experiences at the national level. We wanted to promote the consumption of pulses. So just like in Brazil, they have more than 14 kilos per capita. In Chile, we do not consume more than 1 kilo, maybe 7 kilos that we used to consume. Now we hardly reach a kilogram. How do we promote and encourage the consumption of pulses? It's a difficult task. It's been referred to. We are faced with a modern agriculture that is subject to a world change, not only from the climate change perspective, because it's generating a great amount of disruption, drought, high elevated prices, erosion of the floor. So it's generating a loss of soils given these cultivars. But at the global level, it also takes on the loss of biodiversity. We have gone beyond the planetary situation that we have been attacking in a way. Our water are acidifying, and these conditions, we have to do something to be able to achieve these pulses that are so important for our fields. Why does the bean or legumes in general have such an important role in this agriculture that is so extensively submitted to stress? Many have mentioned that it generates nitrogen and acquire environmental nitrogen, amongst other, and transform it after into proteins in plants. So this is an advantage, an enormous advantage under these conditions. And this condition also is received or transmitted to the soil, because soil has better organic material, which is a better soil, and therefore it improves it increases the amount of humidity in the floor. It improves the biochemical aspects of nitrogen in the floor, amongst other aspects in soil, and it promotes, of course, the growth of these crops. All these advantages need to be taken advantage of from the agricultural standpoint. But this is part of an agricultural system that benefits the crops that are coming afterwards in succession. The studies that we have carried out, and we have observed that if we plant wheat after peas or beans, it improves the proteic, not only of content, but the proteic quality of these proteins that are in these crops. And we have seen this. In this book, our research has taken us to understand a germplasm bank that we have in agronomical sciences that we have in Chile with about 100 varieties. We've taken selected varieties because we saw the advantages of the efficiency of water use, and we submitted them to stress, and we saw what kinds of varieties better responded to these conditions. And these varieties also are less prone to diseases, because the resilience to stress improve its capacity to receive less plagues and diseases that are present in the soil. So there is a virtuous cycle that I call that helps to the health of soil. So that is the path that I would like to take in responding to your question. Thank you very much, Cecilia. Thank you for your response. The participants of this event, Madame Rafaela, would like to ask you, could you explain further how legumes mitigate climate change? As I said previously, pulses are extremely biodiverse. There's a great deal of biodiversity. So what we need to do now is study with scientific base. I work in a university, so provide scientific sources and select varieties that have the capacity to tolerate, as I said, water stress. And we also have thermal stress. I'm sure that this is happening also in Peru. We have high levels of temperature that don't last a few hours a day. Sometimes they last for a long period of time, and plants are not prepared to those environmental conditions at those temperatures. Therefore, the biodiversity that we see in our nation and in various other nations requires us to identify the crops that might not have a high yield. They are products that we can utilize at their quality of temperature to saline resistance or drought. We have to rescue those. We're not talking about transgenics. I'm talking about genetic process in the use of these crops in favor of delivering, once again, to farmers crops that can better withstand climate change. That's what I believe we have to. We have to upkeep the seeds guardians. I saw the seed guardians outside. I was impressed by the work that farmers are doing, how they keep their seeds, and how proud they are of that practice. It's a treasure. So I think that's the path. You have to keep your seeds and keep them so that in the future we will not have problems with food insecurity. So thank you very much, Cecilia. Your answer was very interesting. Thank you very much for your words. So you had referred to the diversity. I believe that it is something very important that pulses bring. In literature says that Peru has many names that are not well known. Canario de Andahuala, other types of greens, beans, and tarwi as others. So I wanted to ask Jose, how many have you collected in Peru, and how many do you have in the SEA Thermoplasm Laboratory? Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for this invitation and the organizing, the Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation and FAO. At the SEAT, we hold approximately 3,700 different seeds coming from Peru. It's not the entire seed. It's about 38,000. So approximately 10% comes from Peru. The majority are about 30,500. In Payares, we have about 300 different seeds. In addition, we have other legumes where I work mainly. They're coming from Peru, about 200 of them. But I would like to say that in addition to other materials that are involved in ecosystemic aspects supporting the certification to improve degraded soils, we also have varieties of multi-purpose, or that has been we have a tree bean, which is also a special, which is called frijol cacha. So we have a different type of forage that are used, which have high levels of proteins, high levels of antioxidants and cytokinins, and also that can provide a great deal of health to soil. It's important to observe this, that SEAT is a custodian of various seeds of these pulses. Can you tell somebody here that whatever's deposited in SEAT that is not in the collections at the national custodians, can you tell somebody that would like to obtain a seed? We are not the owners. We're not sovereign where they were collected. This is all under international treaties, and FAO also supports these banks of seeds, but not only for agriculture, improvement, education. Any person can write to us and request seeds for their research, for their production, and depending. For example, in Colombia, we send to other countries, but for other types of countries, we need a phytosanitary agreement where there are no pathogens, where the seed is clean and can enter different countries. This is completely free. We send small amounts of seeds. The idea is between 10 and 20 seeds. The producers and researchers can increment their own material from these and have enough to be able to produce in large areas. There's a question here. What do you believe? Is it possible, or do you know the percentage of pulses that are consumed in Peru? And do you think that can we feed the entire nation with them? I don't know what the percentage of legumes consumed, but consider the high level of nutrients and proteins, we could feed practically the entire country. There are countries like India where there is a large vegetarian population where their source of consumption of nourishment is beans and legumes. And this has shown that a nation with more than 2,000 or 3,000 inhabitants, they have billions of people that survive eating from consuming or nourishing themselves from legumes. It has been spoken extensively about tarwi. It is an Andean bean or legume. It is not represented in the SEAT. How can we change this so that we can have a duplication of this collection? In 2022, we inaugurated a new bank at SEAT, which is the future. It's a conservation 40% higher, larger than the space that we have now, which is additional. It can help to receive safe copies from different countries and also to increase our own collections. We are completely open to receiving in any modality a collection of tarwi that could be available with having a black box. Keep it in a place that's safe. If something happens with the National Bank or we lose the regeneration, those seeds can be repatriated, or if they can be donated, or we can enter it as availability for the entire world so that the development and assessment prospect can be used depending on the environment. We could find tarwis that could be adapted to low levels, to drought, or to floods areas. This is out of the 38,000 varieties we have in our banks. We have not evaluated the features, resistance to drought, to flooding, and to different types of surfaces and soils. Very good, Juan. In SEAT, we have a great deal of legumes, seeds that are extremely important and available to the biodiversity of the entire world. I would like now to go to the next question of Ingeniera Carol Lavanto. As I mentioned to Ingeniero Gonzalo, tarwi has enormous amounts of benefits. However, it has a high level of alkaloids, which requires management before consuming it. How can AMPER consider these pulses such as tarwi?
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I'm very thankful for this invitation. Thanks to FAO, Tite, Rosa, etc. It is not a new thing. We have these product in the market. I don't know if you've seen it, but this is a starter tarwi. We launched it in 2019. And I want to tell you about the history of this because it's very important. I'm also going to be opening, I'll open it right away so you can see it. If you open the bag, I don't know if you can see this on the exhibition. If you saw this on the exhibition, the tarwi is already cooked, the bittern has been removed, and it is prepared as a ceviche. It is ready to be eaten. And this idea is something that Rosario Bazan thought of. She's our CEO. And she one day came over and said, why don't we just launch a tarwi snack? And when I saw it, I grew up in Lima all of my life, even though my family is from a province. I saw this and I thought, okay, you still eat that? Because I remember my father would eat these in the markets. I don't know if any of you has ever eaten the product in the markets, but normally speaking, there's a person, like some lady with a bucket that has this product, and it is prepared as a ceviche, just as we have it. And people just buys it in a little bag, and as they shop around, they eat one serving and they eat it along their shopping. And the first thing I thought to myself then was, this product, I don't really know it. I've worked with artichokes, with asparagus, and the first veggies, and this is a product that I don't really know. I don't know what it's like. I just remember this part of how my father would eat it in the market as he was doing his shopping. And then I got another thought, which was, well, but I don't eat it. My cousins don't eat it. My siblings don't eat it. I have a huge family. I don't have any members of the family eating it. So what happened with this product? So we took on the challenge of manufacturing this product, and when studying the nutritional properties, we were almost falling over as R&D. When we saw that the protein content it had was 3 times more than quinoa, we were gladly surprised when we saw that the fat it had was omega 3, 6, and 9. We thought that was spectacular. We also determined and measured the fiber, the dietary fiber level, which was also very high. We also saw that it had minerals, those calcium, zinc, iron, and also that all of the essential amino acids are in there. This product has them. So maybe it's one of these few pulses that has all amino acids. So the challenge became even stronger. The commitment of saving this product that practically was being maybe forgotten or underused or underconsumed, and also getting back this traditional way of consumption, because what we wanted to do was to give the product as it was eaten in this market, but in a safe and healthy manner. So we developed in our plant, we developed a debitterness process in the plant, and in terms of water usage is way lesser than what you can do at home. We have a process where we hydrate the product first, then we cook it at a certain temperatures, and then we soak it. And we have control for the levels of the alkaloids to be within undetectable levels so the product can be used. So for us, this is a bet. Purple is for the flower because the taro flower is purple. And I would like to invite you to try the product. I don't know if you have any producers making processed products, but I invite you to continue working on tarwi, which is a greatly nutritious food. Thank you very much.
Gracias, Carol,
Thank you, Carol, for the beautiful words. It is very important that if you can explain to us, what do you think are the advantages of this? I know you have other products that are moderately processed in brine. So what do you think is the advantage that we get for these type of foods? First of all, this is a food that has certain food safety because the product is ready to be used. It was manufactured under strict standards of quality as we have it in our plant, and we're also very careful of removing the bitterness of the product, and we remove all the alkaloids to a level that could be problematic. So we have eliminated the alkaloids as part of the process, and basically it can help to widespread this beautiful food, because this has a shelf life of about 12 months without preservatives. We don't use any chemical products. What we do is to use heat to preserve food in order to have this shelf life. So it's convenience, it's practical, it's nutritious. So then we have a product that has no preservatives, and on top of that, a modern lady that has no time for cooking legumes, for 2 hours can use this product, and then you can have a food that is very nutritious and safe. Yes, we know that there's some people when they prepare the products sometimes soak products for 6 to 7 days or 8 days even. Imagine how long the process can be. Or maybe they can just buy the product without the bitterness. And maybe if you want to make sure that everything is managed, it's a lengthy process. So what we do is just to provide them a convenient product that is easy to consume and that is nutritionally very good. Thank you very much, Caro, for your participation.
Ahora quiero preguntarle a
Now
Julio.
I'd like to ask Julio, a person has expanded the value chain of many products from Peru. What do you think? What is the potential that these type of crops, such as taro or other pulses, have? From your experience in the foreign market, what do you think is the value they would have for Peru, all of these type of products? Well, first of all, good morning. It is a pleasure to meet you. I really thank you for your invitation, to all the FAO team as well. You have interpreting. Okay, so I can understand. Great. So I believe that we're all understanding each other. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Rosa, for allowing me to be here. We have so many scientists and engineers. I'm just a lawyer. I don't even know what I'm going to say. The bar is super high, but maybe I have to say something. As an entrepreneur, it's a bit ironic. First of all, congratulations, because Peru is the site of this event, and it is not an important event. FAO choosing Peru for making the celebration for the first time ever is a historic and very important moment for Peruvians, and I believe we realize Peru should get a round of applause as well.
Con el perdón de Chile y Colombia, ¿no?
And my apologies to Chile and Colombia.
Y me siento orgulloso de compartir este panel también.
And I'm very proud to share this panel as well. And I'm learning a lot. Your food is stunning, by the way. I knew Chocho in New York. Imagine how curious.
Soy serrano, soy de Huancayo.
I'm from Huancayo. I went to Lima and Huayco in 74. It was the first migration. The second migration was to New York in 99. And in the and we were eating tarwi. I knew tarwi there in New York. I said, what is this thing? I tried it. I didn't like it. But I started selling it because Campo Foods brand is an open brand now that is sold in several countries. But it started with the market from Ecuador, because the Ecuadorian market is a slightly less complicated market than us Peruvians. They're easy to buy from. So I started working with Ecuadorian products, and then chocho or tarwi, is widely eaten by Ecuadorians, and people from Guayaquil don't know what it is, but people from Quito, they do. People from Quito eat a lot of tarwi, or chocho as they call it. I'm sorry I say chocho, I know it's a chocho, but you call it tarwi. And I started tasting this, and I started buying this in Ecuador, manufactured by this company called Sepia that does a very good processing. And they didn't do it. They started doing that because I asked them. Ironically enough, for many years, until now even, I buy chocho in Ecuador and I export this to New York, but the chocho process in Ecuador now is coming from Peru. So I have been asking my plant to make some chocho for me, but I think I'm going to be buying damper now. I'm sorry, my engineers, I've been asking you for long. So it is very ironic that this seed, if you allow me to ask this, the lupine is not Andean, it's European, isn't it? This one is. Tarwi is only Andean. I found Portuguese lupine in a market in Spain. They're cousins, they're related. Okay, it's a bit bigger, but it has the same content of protein, right? No? Okay. Ours is so much better, the one of the Andes. Okay, imagine that. You learn something every day. So where do I want to go to? Where do you want to get to with these comments? How great is our ignorance from what we have and what we don't value? how much do we need to do in terms of education so we can value what we have? I don't know how many decades we have been just feeding quinoa to chickens. And what, 35, 40 years ago, we just started eating quinoa ourselves. Same thing happens with chocho, tarwi. It has a high content of protein from what everyone explained here. And we have been unable, culturally speaking, to understand what we actually have. We as corporations, answering to the question, we try to always be teachers. I'm sorry, I advertise here. It's also my right to advertise here. We're one of the biggest exporters of cuy. Ecuador, people from Ecuador eat the most cuy. In the north of Chile, they also eat that. And in Colombia as well. Colombians also eat some cuy. But mostly in the Andean branch of Peru, they eat guinea pigs. So we've been pioneers with guinea pigs. We've been defending this against the offenses of the market because it's part of our authenticity. Guinea pigs are ours. So same with corn. When we go to the market, we were just selling corn to toast it, which was canchita. So we started selling cancha montaña corn, and we named the churpa and we named Cusco. And we say, but people, what do people care? People should know the strengths that we have and the varieties of corns that we have. We need to be the teachers. Nowadays, we have 14 companies selling corn, each one with their typical name, because those have the Latin American strengths and especially of the Andean range. So we need to teach people to eat better. I believe our work as corporations, and that in a way is the way why I have been invited here today, is to spread these words. Be the teachers. So no matter what is needed, that needs to be done, especially in our country. In a country, I don't know what is the volume of tarwi that is being eaten, but we should start here. And sadly enough, there's no politicians here in my country. There's no vice minister or a minister, and since they're gonna be listening in later, I'm gonna control myself. Public policy does not help for this part of teaching people and teaching consumers. The unions need to do our work. The academies for gastronomy, and I'm very moved that Le Cordon Bleu is always participating in these events and collaborates, and they get motivated and join us. And here is everyone who wants to represent Peru and Latin America and what we produce, what the Andean people produce. And this teaching is something that the state can do more than what we're already doing. This is proof that there's willingness, but we need to move this. And we as unions should do the same. And all of the intermediate institutions that want to participate in this flow in order to promote this consumption. And also congratulations to Damper. I know the CEO of Damper. She's an extraordinary woman that bets on what she knows ethically needs to be supporting. And that is something that we as business people need to be promoting. We need to not only sell meat, but we also need to sell those things that are harder to sell. That's my answer. One question. When you talk about policy, Paolo asks you, how do you think we can design political frameworks to promote the growing and consumption of greater varieties of pulses? Can you repeat the question? So now he's repeating the question. Political programs to promote the consumption and cultivation of pulses. Well, I had an experience in the public sector for 4 years, and there is this very easy to say sentence, but it's very hard to achieve, which is turn this into a state policy. As long as this is not a state policy, meaning that there's a budget, HR, regions, etc., what the private sector needs to do is its work. So that is why I left the public sector in 1999, and I don't want to go back because, forgive me, I love the public sector and I don't want to look down on you, but our country is very limited. The rotation of HR does not allow for people that want to do things do their work well. And if additionally to that, you don't have any public policies that are intended to do this, and especially in the regions. And the regions have a high level of responsibility in this. But as long as we have problems that I'm not going to be mentioning because you see the news, at the very least, there should be 2 or 3 public workers in each institution that take their work seriously so they can contribute in the budget they have on the educational part. I bet on education, basically, and teaching people what they should eat, not only what's tasty. Our gastronomy, and I feel very proud of that, most likely is the most delicious gastronomies of the world, maybe not the most nutritious. So tarwi should be part of the Peruvian gastronomy. And that's what I say. I don't want to be policing, but I believe the presence of cordon bleu here is important because they make this they buy this tool, and even though it's not profitable for them, but the country is first for them. So I would say if we as unions pressure everyone, you as FAO who are doing this great work with the pulses, if you continue to work doing steady work, and scientists and everyone joins forces for the message to be heard, but we need to join our voices with strength, not that we just take a picture at the end of the meeting and we leave the place and never talk about it again. We need to keep on working. We need to keep on bringing samples around and continue processing these products. We need to continue to invest as well. I love this lady. She's not a salesperson, but she develops products, but she had me eating half of the package. She's a good salesperson. So let's do the management. So if the government has a political willingness, and the minister was here, the vice minister was here today, so the rest of public workers, every now and then, should maybe work for this. Okay, let's not forget about this. I believe we need to ask for help, and we need to turn this into public policy. So all of the pulses and everything that is ethnically nutritious should be of a compulsory consumption for the social aid programs, and it isn't. Oddly enough, it isn't. That type of measurements could help for the volume of the demand to be increased. And the other thing is the unions and people that sell the product, we should support them somehow because the cost benefit for them is not enough. I go to Mantaro Valley, my land, where the carrots are turning around. That's just to cry for. Like mango. Turn it around means that when you just bury the products back into the ground so you can just generate some compost. It is depressing that we're so ignorant that we're just throwing good food to waste. It is a crime that having areas of Peru that have nothing to eat, we in certain areas of Peru, we put the food back on the earth. That is a great responsibility of the state. And if they don't consider this as a public policy, we will continue in the same way as always. That would be my point of view. Thank you, Julio. Sadly, since we were a bit delayed and this is being broadcasted, I'm gonna give the floor to the Master of Ceremony now so he can continue. I would like to thank you to all of our panel members for being here and spending some time with us and being part of this forum. Thank you so much.
Para continuar y vamos llegando casi al...
To continue, and we're almost about to conclude this forum. The pulses provide agri-food systems a great amount of nutrients We're going to invite now for closing remarks Madame Irene Medina Cruzado, who's the director of the General Directorate of Agriculture Development and Agroecology, MIDAGRI of Peru. Good afternoon, panelists. Good afternoon, representatives of FAO. Good afternoon, entrepreneurs, farmers, representatives of the School of Pastry and Gastronomy. It is my responsibility to provide you with closing remarks that sets forth that which is ours, our pulses. There is a great reflection on the fundamental role of pulses in the diversification of agri-food systems and also to have a more sustainable, resilient agriculture. We have heard this during our day-to-day. We have seen strategies and strengths to strengthen pulses in the sustainability and the environmental aspects of it. With the world, we are committing ourselves to trade, to production, supporting researchers, small farmers, consumers, and all the key players in the sector. We would like to thank each one of you for your participation, both active and for your commitment. Let's continue working jointly to ensure that pulses is part of an essential part of our sustainable agri-food systems. Thank you very much. Until next time.
Muy bien, agradecemos las
Thank you very
palabras.
much. Thank you for the words of the General Directorate of Agricultural Development and Agriculturally, MIDAGRI. Before we conclude, we would like to ask the panelists to stand with our director, Madame, from the people from the staff from FAO could also come to the stage so we can conclude with an official protocol image. Legumes provide diversity to agri-food systems. We have lately, but given the time constraints, we are on time now. So we apologize for the delay and for not having the occasion to answer all the questions that were set forth.
Muy bien, a todos ustedes, muchísimas gracias. Antes de que
Thank you all very much. And before you leave, please come to the main explanation. There's going to be a tasting presented by Cordon Bleu. I would like to also thank Ángel Andina for allowing us to participate in an event such as this. Thank you all for your participation in the celebration of this World Pulses Day today, the 10th of February, which is being celebrated at an international level. In this occasion, Peru was the host. Thank you very much.